Welcome to Zooming to Webinar Success. If you're needing to plan a virtual meeting and are stuck, this series is for you. Full-time voice artist Grant Holmes is also a busy virtual meeting manager and on-screen host. Learn tips and tricks to having successful virtual meetings from step one. And now, here's your host, Grant Holmes, the webinar guy.
Welcome to episode 22 and the importance of writing a script. Hey, I'm Grant. My clients call me the webinar guy. Welcome to episode 22 of Zooming to Webinar Success. Just wrapped up 2 episodes on slide decks and their proper use, and I touched on script writing and using a script when doing your webinar, Zoom meeting, or other virtual meetup. For a bit of background, I've been on stage since I was 5 years old. That was my very first vocal solo. Ah, the memories. Not so much. I really don't remember, but that's okay. Since somewhere in my 30s, I've not only sung professionally, I've been a keynote speaker. I've also worked as a trainer in corporations on everything from IT to soft skills to corporate turnaround management to helping entrepreneurs with how to start a business. Over thousands of presentations, I've come to know what works and what doesn't. And not in the list above, I've also held seminars. You know, the old kind where people actually came to a hotel conference room in person? Yeah, that. Well, I've trained many individuals on using slide decks from the podium, speaking skills, stagecraft or stage management, how to use equipment, and more. I've even trained National Speakers Association's candidates. So sorry for the personal commercial, but I think it's important that if someone is spewing advice, you know that they are qualified to do so. I'll let you judge. So all that said, I want to revisit a few points from my last episode 21. Writing a script will be the lead on this episode, but I'll rehash the why. Why write a script? Well, most experts in a field can talk about their given area expertise at the drop of a hat, and quite often for too darn long. On the webinarguy.com website, look at the Fantastic Scripts Matter page, and I'll give you a link for that. We have a couple of quotes attributed to Mark Twain and Woodrow Wilson. Both quotes have to do with preparation. The one from Mark Twain is, "I never could make an impromptu speech without several hours to prepare it." I'll let you go find the other link. In fact, this page speaks to many of the things I'm saying about scripts, but I'll take it here a bit differently. First, that preparation could be practicing your presentation many times to get the flow, check equipment, and so on. But in my mind, knowing what you're going to say and practicing saying it that way is a key to a great presentation. I think that the purpose of any presentation is to get your audience to engage somehow, buy something, volunteer, etc. And having your sequence right, the verbiage right, all that to me is critical. So here's what I've done. I mentioned in the last episode that while you could write a script and then create the slides to support your talk, or switch that, create your slides first, and this happens often when I'm doing a highly technical subject for a person or myself, where certain images must be displayed in a given order to explain a subject, but I kind of do a bit of both. Once I have my script, my deck created in PowerPoint or Prezi, Canva, whatever you might use, then I hone my script in. At every point, I want to make sure both the presentation and the script and the slides are working together. Here's my secret. I practice both until no real improvements are left to make. Then I begin to use my slides as prompts for me. By now, I know what I want to say, and the slides prompt me to say that. Remember, I'm practicing. And as I practice the sequence, I glance less and less at the script, knowing those critical points are on the slide. And by the way, a short commercial for our sponsor, which is still me, the webinar guy. If you'd like help writing your script, or would like presentation coaching or other subjects, hit our site and do a contact form for me. We'd love to help you out and help you zoom to webinar success. Thanks. Using an outline. This strategy is like using an outline to guide you through your presentation, and after practicing, you'll notice that you're using your script less and less often. And by the way, earlier I mentioned practicing it until no real improvements are left to be made. Well, learn when to stop improving your presentation. That's right, there is a limit to doing better. Even when writing these podcast or videocast scripts, I tweak it a few times, but I also notice a point of going beyond tweaking, and sometimes it breaks the flow of what I was trying to accomplish. Also, try to write your scripts in one uninterrupted session. I find that when I start now and wait later to finish, I've lost the initial energy of what I was trying to say, and the flow breaks, and sometimes I find myself trying to recover that. Time your script. As a professional presenter, you should always know how long your presentation is. If you're doing a webinar, virtual meeting, or other online meet, recording a blog, and especially when presenting publicly live, you need to know how long you're going. From my experience as a keynote speaker for many conferences, I can tell you that if they give you 20 minutes, or 45 minutes, that's really what they want. They really mean that. They may have another session planned after you or lunch, and you deciding to just go over that because you think you're all that, well, respect your limits. If there's just no way you can do your content in the time slot they've asked you to fill, tell them that. If you tell people your webinar will be around 20 minutes and at the 28-minute mark, there's still no indication that you're going to close, unless you're just amazing as a speaker, you're going to lose audience. And as you're writing your script, you can use this link that I'll also put in comments to test your timing. It's not perfect, but it sure beats typing out a long script only to realize that you're 10 minutes or whatever over the requested slot. Being on time and doing your job in the time allotted will get return audience and return engagements. So now you know why scripts are important. And one more tip. You'll be tempted to ad-lib and stray from your script when running live. All of a sudden there's that story about when, don't. Resist the temptation. You'll do enough without trying. But the moment you decide to toss in a freebie, you've also got the opportunity to go down the wrong path and then have to try to recover that. Good luck with your scripts. This series is for smaller organizations and solopreneurs that may not be tech savvy, don't know all the steps, and maybe don't want to know all the steps. Over the series, I'm going to lead you through all the significant decisions and capabilities you'll need to Zoom to webinar success. And as always, if you need help now, don't hesitate to reach out to webinarpro@thewebinarguy.com. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your questions and comments. And if you're listening to the podcast audio, thanks for listening. Please tell a friend.